Greetings to the timekeeper, chairperson, audience, and adjudicators. I greet you all. My name is Ika Imelda, as stated by the chairperson debate, and I am the first speaker from the opposition team. Before I go ahead with anything, allow me to introduce my teammates and the reason that we are going to tackle on. Mazila Josephine is the second speaker who is going to tackle more on the economic and political factors of today's motion, and Wianja Kangome who's going to sum up our points. Before I go ahead with anything, allow me to read the motion for today. The motion for today states that this House will ban plastic bags and packaging. Allow me to find the keywords and define them. Ban is to decide or say officially that something is not allowed or prohibited. Plastic is a light, strong material that is produced by chemical processes and can be formed into many shapes when heated. Bag is a container made of paper or plastic that opens at the top and is most usually used in stores or shops. Packaging is materials used to wrap or protect goods that are sold in shops or stores. We got all these definitions from the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, the latest 9th edition. Before I go ahead with anything, allow me to rebut on what the team proposition brought forth. They brought in a point of saying that plastics and packaging cause pollution. How do they cause pollution when we all know that dustbins are being provided house at large, most especially in schools and proclaimed areas? Dustbins are always there, and even in this class that we are in, dustbins are provided. How is it going to pollute the environment when the dustbins are being provided and people are told how to dispose waste or papers or rubbish? And they also brought in a point of saying people, they really didn't understand today's motion. They came here stammering and supporting the team opposition without understanding the points that they brought forth. They say that plastics are recyclable. What does that mean? They are supporting our team house at large. They are saying plastics are recyclable. They are not here to give us the disadvantages of plastics and why it should be banned. Rejected, warm up your chest your time. And they also came here and said that dustbins will be donated. Are they opposing or they are proposing? We really don't understand what they are trying to say to us, because they are the team proposition, but they are giving points to the opposition. Rejected, warm up your chest two time, please. Going back to my points, my first point is that plastics are cheap and low cost. We all know that when we go into shops, for example, Metro, Choice, and other stores, accepted.
Which statistics show that plastics are cheap?
This year's statistics, plastics are $1.50 per set. We all know that when we go from the receipt, when we go to shops, they are always indicated how much a plastic costs. So warm up your chest two times and let me do my job here. Going back to my point, I say that plastics are cheap and plastics are cheap. What we mean here is that plastics are cheap because plastics are not more expensive than carrier bags. House rejected, warm up your chest. When we go into shops, we buy products. So plastics are low cost because when we go into shops, plastics are not costing more than $10 house at large. They are costing $1.50 house at large. Why should we go for other materials that are costing more money than buying a plastic that is just costing $1 house at large? Is that going to make us, how are we going to maintain our money house at large if we buy these expensive things instead of buying a plastic that is costing $1.50 house at large? And my other point is that they are water resistant house at large. What we mean here is that, for example, in rainy seasons, when we go to shops and buy our products, for example, groceries, maybe maize meal, and for example, the small ones that are put in packaged papers, we put them in plastics because we know that it's raining, and if we put that product into a plastic, it's not going to get wet, and that is water resistant house at large. And we are going to, when we are going to ban this plastic and packaging? How are we going to carry our products house at large when we all know that there are times where it's rain house at large? Our maize meal or products that are put in papers are going to get wet when we buy them house at large because of the rain. And my other point is that heat is a poor, plastics are poor conductors of heat. What we mean here is, if you, for example, we take maybe vegetables and then put them in a plastic, for example meat, and then we put it in a plastic and then put in a fridge. That meat is not going to rot easily house at large because plastics are not good, plastics are poor conductors of heat house at large, and they don't make our food rot so easily house at large. They are preserving our food in many ways house at large. We can look into our community's house at large. Many storage products are being made out of plastic house at large, and we all know that plastics are moldable house at large. Many products that we are using in our houses house at large are made out of plastic. Cups, plates that we are using in our houses are made out of plastic, and when we are going to ban this plastic and packaging, how are we going to manage our household things, or how are we going to put where are we going to put our things? Because as I know, most things that we use in our houses, they are made of steel, and steel is not that common with things that we use in our houses. And my other point is that, for example, a baker. The baker bakes a cake and he or she is not having the utensil for her to decorate the cake. He or she can take a plastic, put in the cream and decorate the cake. Is that not helping us house at large? Instead of banning this plastic packaging and instead of using it to help us, we are going to ban this plastic packaging. And that's not going to prosper us house at large. That's not going to help house at large. Plastics are helping us in many ways house at large. And according to the BBC News 9 January 2020, they stated that plastic remains the most effective material in many circumstances. For example, cucumbers wrapped in plastics, they last for 14 days. House at large, 14 days is 2 weeks house at large. When that cucumber is wrapped in a plastic, is it going to rot house at large? Instead of putting it just there on open space for it to for germs to contract it house at large and for it to rot house at large, instead of using the plastic to cover our food and protect them so that they will stay longer, we are going to ban this plastic packaging, and they always will just be concentrating, oh, my food got rot yesterday because they are not plastic and they are banned. Is that what we are going to do house at large? Instead of doing other better things house at large, we are just going to concentrate on buying stuff that got spoiled because we are not putting them in appropriate packaging or places. And my other point is that if we ban plastic and packaging, for example, how are we going to import meat house at large? Meat cannot be put in a carrier bag house at large that is made out of cotton. Meat can melt house at large, and if we go in shop and buy frozen meat and then you put it in a carrier bag and then you go home, you stay very far from where you bought the meat. Is the meat not going to melt and the carrier bag is going to